What? Did you get those hot tamales?
They're hot, Jim.
You should shove 2 up your nostrils right now.
They are a suppository.
Oh, I like that.
Spicy.
I like that. Let's go. Let's go find a big guy to fight.
Hey there, welcome to Motorcycles and Misfits, coming to you from the Recycle Garage in sunny Santa Cruz, California. John, can you believe what I put up with?
I can't believe it.
No, but I tell you what, though, it was sunny today.
They're beautiful. Oh my goodness, it was nice.
Hey everyone, this is Liza.
No, it's not.
And we have got some special people in the room today.
Yes, we have.
But Stumpy John isn't here. Last week he said he was going to be...
He's doing stumpy things.
He's doing stumpy things. But that's okay, because we have a stunt misfit filling in.
We have a stunt stumper.
Jinx, 1, 2, 3.
I've been a lot of things to a lot of people.
And I think Texas John sounds like a good one, especially with that
John in
that
the house.
Texas John.
Hello, everyone.
Hey.
Howdy, partner.
Thanks for joining
That's
us.
it.
You got roped into this.
Thanks for having me.
You're from Texas. You're used to being roped, aren't you?
That's it.
Exactly. On the classy girl couch, chewing food right before it. Yeah, it's the lovely Miss Manners. I mean, Miss Emma.
Miss Spanners.
Oh, I like that. Miss Spanners. I see what you did.
Aloha, darlings. I am so thrilled to be with everyone this evening. It's going to be a great show.
Yes, it is.
It is going to be a great show.
Also joining us on the classy girl couch, who we probably aren't going to hear a lot from because she's just here to be a fly on the wall, but it's Chen.
Hi.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, that's good. She's just...
Hi.
Yeah, hi.
There it is. Hi.
Yes. There we go.
Perfect.
All right. And also joining us for the first time, this is going to be pretty cool. We got a lot to talk about. It's Max. Yeah.
Hi, everybody.
You just got shy all of a sudden?
No, come on now, Max. Now, we are going to get a lot of information out of Max tonight, so don't be shy.
All right, but we're still not done. Because it's everybody's favorite naked guy. It's Naked Jim.
Yeah, peace, love, and dirt bikes.
Yeah. And of course, we can't forget everyone's favorite ginger. It's Bagel.
Greetings from the Pacific Northwest, where I am happy to report we finally have rain again.
That's a good thing?
Oh, yes. Yes, the wildfires are getting put out now.
Yeah, at least they'll put the fire out.
Yeah.
Bagel, how are the horses at the bottom of the garden? Are they soggy?
The horses out there, they're actually doing quite well. They're back from their summer adventures.
Okay, do they? I'm not sure what horses do. Do they frolic in the rain or sort of roll around in puddles? What do horses do?
They frolic around. They'll hang out in the barn. Whatever they feel like they want to do at the moment.
Things.
Okay. Ask the guy from
asking the
Texas.
Texas guy?
Ask the Texas John.
Max grew up on a ranch.
Max grew up on a ranch.
I grew up on a horse ranch. The only thing I ever saw them do was convert cold hard cash, which is hay, into poop. There you go.
Fertilizer.
There you go.
So, I did a little ride yesterday.
Did you really?
I did. I rang up Jim and I'm like, I want to go for a ride, but I'll be honest. I'm like, I'm not feeling like I want to go like attack hard things. I don't want to go hit dirt. I don't want to go hit twisties. I want to just kind of reunite with my KTM 990 and just kind of just have a nice, easy ride.
Because you've had kind of a rocky journey with that KTM, haven't you, darling?
No, I love it. It's still
I know you love
the bike that most agrees with me. But I'm like, I just wanted to go out for almost like a cruise. A cruise.
Well,
Yeah.
I think you had to have a little recovery from your Africa Twin. I think you went to the extremes. You went from Africa Twin to Pakistan on a 150 fucking whatever beater bike for like 10 days, shifting 5 times a minute.
Tap dance.
Yeah, tap dancing on that thing. And then you did that for 2 weeks in Pakistan. Then you came back and tried to jump right back into the DCT, which gave you a little bit of a thing.
Yeah.
So I think you just wanted to hop back on a motorcycle and you just wanted to ride ride and shift
Yeah.
and do some of this and find some food.
I'm very interested, Liza, after last week's counselling session. Are you still done with the Africa Twin?
I believe that I am ready to try something new.
Yes.
I feel like I experienced it, and I'm ready to experience something new.
I threw a little bit of a curveball on her because you're already by this new bike, but I'm like, why not just love the 990 Supermoto that you have and just put a little money into that, put some new tires on it? Because you really like that bike. It's, the KTM 990 Supermoto with a small front wheel.
Yeah.
And you seem to like that a lot. And you're going to go to a little bit bigger adventure bike. So anyway, food for thought.
No, I think, as I said, my KLR, my scooter, my 690 Enduro, my 990 all fit all my specific needs. But then I have a bike that, like the Africa Twin, is just something I wanted to really try and experience. Now I can buy another bike to try and experience.
I think it boils down the biggest problem with that Africa Twin, and I experience it as well, and it's odd for me because I spend all day, every day, just manhandling various bikes around my workshop. It's so bloody big. And it carries its weight so high as well.
Yep.
It's a very awkward bike to push around. And if you repeat that day in, day out, every time you go out on it, as nice as it is to ride, if you're terrified of dropping it, every time you're moving it in and out of the garage, it would kind of cloud things a little bit.
The reality is the bike is made for traveling and for adventuring. I'm not really doing either of those, but for a day ride or a short ride, I can hop on any of the other bikes that are just a lot more nimble and fun.
Right.
They're just more fun.
And you can wheel them out of the garage without giving yourself a coronary.
Yeah, I think Bagel would say that this is where scooters come into, is where you just need to hop on something and run down the street or whatever.
The scooter is one of the ones that I ride the most.
Well, just in contrast to the larger Africa Twin is what I mean.
Scooters are for girls.
Yeah, scooters don't come into the conversation.
Yeah, that's the right tool for the
Just
job.
kidding.
It's an event to get. What you're telling us is it's an event to get it out of the garage.
Oh yes,
I mean,
absolutely.
there's a major process. I mean, it does look. It does. Now I just saw yours.
It's got presence, hasn't it, Max?
It does. It does look extremely top heavy, just visually. Not riding it.
It is a big purpose-built bike.
Now, what year is that one?
2018.
Okay. Did the ones that preceded it, were they auto transmissions too?
No, this was the return of the bike in 2016, 2017?
Yeah.
That they revived.
Because it kind of it went away in the 90s. I think it went away in 93, and it was a substantially smaller bike, but it was still a bloody horse. And then it came back.
The original, did it have a 5-speed, a 6-speed, or was it an auto too?
No, it's 5-speed.
No, this is the DCT is new.
Yeah.
Yeah, the automatic.
No, the original was a 750 5-speed. I mean, it was a big thing for what it was.
That's right.
But Emma.
Yes.
So I've been thinking, because if I'm just...
don't do that, darling.
Because if I'm open to experience something new, one of the bikes that came up on my list that I never expected to be there
was
maybe a Pan America.
Good luck, darling.
Yeah.
Did everybody catch that pregnant pause there?
I'm just saying.
Oh, she dropped that on me yesterday. I'm
like, I'm open to. I want to experience something.
Well, we were at the Indian dealership, and you were like, maybe a cruiser. And I'm
maybe
like,
a cruiser,
right.
maybe a Goldwing, something.
Monkey
I just
bike.
want to.
Yeah, but a cruiser is going to be a mile killer, which is exactly what you have right now in the Africa Twin.
Liza has attachment issues. She's going to get something new every 3 years. So.
But there's nothing wrong with that. Variety is,
the spice of life.
Spice of life. I agree.
Yeah.
The problem with the Pan American, though, is I take a really good look, because if I only rode the one, but if top heavy is not a lot of fun for you, that bike is insanely heavy on the top.
Yeah, but again, I like to experience bikes and to really try them out and understand them. So that's
why don't you rent one first before you buy it?
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
I heard of this company. I heard of this company called Twisted
ticket.
Road.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Right.
So-
So do that.
I heard you throw out English bikes for the first time. Maybe a Tiger 800.
Yeah, I mean, I'm open, but I think I'm ready to sell it so I can try something else.
You should definitely.
I don't
sell
really
it.
have a
Get over it.
need for anything, so I want to get something that I can experience that I've never really.
And ultimately, the Africa Twin, I think where it differs from like the GSs and that kind of thing, it's a dirt bike. You know, it wants to be off road. It's
Do you know the
off-road.
best thing about English bikes?
The accent.
The electronics.
They're assembled by English people
Oh yes.
who say like, "Go blimey, Gav, you're a cautionary."
Wanker!
Oi, wanker! Put that part on there, you bastard!
Yeah, wanker.
So we went for a ride, a very nice ride, just around back roads and around through fields. And,
Yeah, northern Monterey County.
Oh, very
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, western
and went
San
and got
Benito County.
lunch. Here's a hot tip. A great place to get lunch. A
San
lot
Juan
of
Grade
people
Road.
don't
Me and
think
Emma
about.
rode on that. Your roof is San Juan Grade Road from Crazy Horse Canyon up
Oh,
over
heck
to
yeah.
San Juan Bautista.
Yeah, it's a lovely road.
One of our favorite places to go for lunch isn't a specific place as much as a general place, meaning small airport restaurants.
Yep.
We like
Yeah.
going
I heard
to,
half
you know
Moon
what I'm
Bay is
talking
open
about, right?
again, by the
Absolutely.
way.
Oh, right.
Oh,
So
nice.
we went
Yeah.
to the Hollister Airport. It has a restaurant there that they've just all redone.
It used to
and
be
I had a
called
great meal.
the Dingaling,
Yeah.
but I think it changed.
So it's a great destination.
Yeah,
Small airports.
We have the Kernville Airport, and it just has a really, really small restaurant. Probably maybe 7-8 people maxed out. And they make an incredible hamburger there.
There you
nice.
go.
And I like
yeah.
I like hamburgers.
Yeah.
yeah, and airplanes.
Great travel food.
Yeah, so that's something that Jim and I always like to go to.
And you
small
get to see
airports.
airplanes, which
Yeah,
is
and there's
cool,
airplanes.
and helicopters.
Yep,
and
there you
shit.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it was a great ride, and I just felt really comfortable and good. And it was just one of those, I think, mental health day rides where it was nice.
Yeah, we went to the dealership. We went to 2 dealerships,
Yeah.
Indian and that. And Gilroy.
Yeah, we went to Hollister Power Sports, which was interestingly enough, even though they sell. So there's the Indian side and then the everything else side.
Right, and they
It's
keep
like
them
Honda,
very, very separate.
Kawasaki.
Yeah.
Not many street bikes at all. Not many street bikes.
Just the Indians. No,
Like,
almost no dual sports.
Versus, it was almost all dirt bikes,
Yeah,
Kawasaki
like
dirt bikes.
bikes.
Like Versus 300. You know what's surprising? None of the Honda 125s. Zero. No Groms, no Cubs, none of that. They can't get any of those. There was just, a handful.
Tons of Kawasaki 250 and 450 dirt
Yeah,
bikes.
just a handful of street bikes.
Speaking from within the industry, the supply chain right in the middle of the pandemic, because if you remember, I was going gangbusters right at the start of the pandemic, and the supply chain was just, I didn't ever think it was going to come
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was so irredeemably
What's up with
broken.
tires now, by the way? We should
Well,
revisit that. Do you want
Yeah,
to
we're
save
going to
that for later?
revisit tires. And it has come back, but there are exceptions. Tires are one of them.
Yeah.
Can't get tires
Like,
to
what
save
the
my
fuck?
life.
I was at a
I
place
could-
the other day. They were like, I'm like, where's all the tires?
Right,
Yeah.
and I can't get them. And bikes are another one. It's, there's still some snafu within the supply chain. It'll come back, but it's taking its sweet time.
I'm still waiting on the luggage for my Suzuki, and that's been, a couple of months?
Yes.
Anyway,
So, and then we went to Gilroy that I was at last week. But
that
we
place
were
is huge.
coming through there, and my rear brake was squealing, which I assumed meant time for new brake pads, which turns out once I took them off, it wasn't. They weren't even halfway worn through. But as Emma said, sometimes they just hit a harmonic and start to squeal.
Well, what-
That you can file off the edges and fix that.
Well, what happens when they manufacture pads? You've got the metal backing plate, and if you've ever seen a pad that's delaminated, it's quite interesting. There's this almost like hook pattern on the back of the metal that's
Which
cast
part-
into the
like-
metal.
Like if the
cotton-
pad itself came off the
yeah,
metal
and
backing.
it kind of bites into the friction material. However, they put this kind of chamfered leading edge on the pad. But of course, you get to halfway, and it usually wears down. You get a really sharp edge. And then as the pattern of the rotor goes past the little holes, it sets a harmonic going.
It's
So
like a
you're-
finger on a wine glass.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
it's exactly that. And
There you go.
your pads are vibrating and they sing to you.
Yeah.
And the quick fix, if a bike comes into my shop, brakes are singing. I'll have a look, and if there's only half wear, I just take the leading edge off the pad, and then they go
That's
away,
it.
and it's
Yeah.
nice and quiet.
Good to know.
You could do the same if you put like thick grease on the back of the pad, or even like a rubber material,
like a dampening.
and you basically glue
Yeah.
the pad to the piston, and that stops all the harmonics.
How do you take a little bit of the pad off? Like just like a
just a
wheel
file.
or a little file?
Yeah, it's soft.
So fortunately, they did have some brake pads, which I got. Which again, just like
Where were those
tires
brake
and
pads
Yeah,
stuff.
the
made?
hats and jackets. You should have got the hats and jackets too.
I
Where were
know.
those
And
brake-
the shoes?
Oh my
They
God!
have
Tell her
KTM
this. Tell her what the
shoes.
fucking brake pads, how much they were.
Yeah. So how much these brake pads just for a
Just
single
two.
caliper
Yeah.
was $60,
Well,
and
I
I
mean-
thought that was a lot. And then I went and looked
Seemed like it.
up that specific
Right.
model number, and they were like Revzilla is like $53. So it sounds like it was in range,
An entry level pad at my
and then
shop.
plus tax. So
An entry level pad by Golfer, which is just the straight,
Yeah.
organic pads, $30. That's where you start, and then a ceramic pad's probably
Yeah.
60.
Because $30 doesn't surprise
Yeah.
me. When I heard 50 or 60,
60.
I was like,
I mean, I
dang.
can do
centered? Are they centered?
yes,
Yeah.
and then
Are yours like for European bikes only, more or less, or can you pop them in like a Suzuki V-Strom or something?
no, you can you.
Those are pretty universal, kind of not universal.
Well,
but
they're not
no.
universal,
Going
but the
to
manufacturer.
different
Plate
manufacturers.
is made to fit into that bike, but the material is the same.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I get you.
Yeah.
At the moment, I seem to have kind of fallen into golfer pads. They give me, to me, the parts I bolt on that give the least trouble are the best parts.
Not EBC.
You know,
Come
I
on.
like EBC because I know all the cats who
The
work there.
the domestic
there's-
product. Come
you
on.
know, it's like that's the Peaky Blinders of the brake pad
Oh,
world. I
aye.
mean, and I know them all, and they do make a really good pad. But Isaac came in on his Connie, and he needed new pads, and so I thought, I'll get some really nice ceramic golfers.
Yeah.
And I put them in, and he rode home, and he called me halfway home, and he said, "This brake is amazing. It's like sticking a stick through the spokes.
Really?
It's amazing."
Those made in America?
No, Spanish.
Oh.
I will tell you though, I was very impressed with swapping them out on that bike. I pull out 2 clips and a pin, and they just drop out, and I slide the new ones in. No removing the caliper,
Really?
nothing. It was all.
Cool.
All I needed was one set of needle nose pliers to pull the pins out. It was done. It was easy.
Nice.
Very easy. Oh, well, I take it back. I had to bleed out some fluid to push the cylinders back, but it was very, very simple and clean and easy. So
It's
anyway,
always nice,
done.
isn't it, when there's not a ton of stuff on the floor and you're going, what the hell is that? You
I
know,
know.
this is not going to be a nice night.
No, so I had a very nice ride yesterday, and it's always fun when we can stop.
I had a lovely ride today.
You did?
And do you know why?
Because you're on Rufus. I saw Rufus parked out there.
Oh, Rufus is such a good boy.
Yes.
I can't ride him every day because he gets me into a lot of trouble. And we were
Makes you
talking,
do
and this
bad
is a
things.
perfect example about why having multiple bikes scratch a different itch. I love my Harley for the simple reason, if I'm just kind of boffing around, it's a great bike, and I don't
America.
feel I have to do 100 miles an hour everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
But any day on Rufus is a good day.
I'm glad you had a good ride today, because there's somebody who didn't have a good ride this weekend.
What?
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Skylar.
Oh, dear.
Poor Skylar. So
Is Skylar a listener?
This is a good story. You didn't hear the story yet?
No.
I
God.
didn't.
I don't
okay.
think so.
No, I told you in the garage.
Oh.
But Bagel hasn't heard it this one yet, so you guys will enjoy
Emma,
this.
throw me a hot tamale.
So Charlie and his friends were doing a group ride up in Mendocino County.
Okay,
Yeah.
you did tell me. I know the name.
Which I knew he was heading up there to ride the big bikes around. And apparently one of his friends, Skylar, who is on a Triumph Tiger,
Yeah, he's on a Tiger 800.
Friday night was going to go meet the guys to go camping, but couldn't get there until it got dark, and was going in the trails to meet everyone at the campground using his GPS.
Seemed like a good idea at the time.
But once he got onto the GPS, apparently to get to the campground, there's a water crossing. So
boy.
the GPS reroutes you around the water crossing because it says that's not a road anymore. And it reroutes you onto like motocross trails. So he's just following it, and it sent him off on motocross single track down into a ravine.
I think he wasn't even on a motor. He was on a mountain bike trail. He was on like a bicycle trail, a tiny.
No, it was
a motocross.
Dirt biking trail.
Right.
But it was like single track, and he got sent down into a ravine.
Downhill's always bad.
That he couldn't get out
Downhill is
of.
bad like that.
So fortunately, he had his camping gear, so he just decided to literally pitch his tent, and the next day decided, well, now I'm going to try and get out of here. But this was really difficult terrain, and he couldn't get his bike out of there. And apparently it was taking some hits because there were some pieces of it that they had to retrieve. So
what was he riding? What was he on?
a Tiger. I don't know what size.
Okay.
Tiger 8, I think.
Because when you're not just turning a bike around in a situation
So
like that.
he gives up and realizes he's screwed. He's got to wait for help to come along. It's possible that no one would ever come, and this guy is stuck with no cell phone reception. Remember when Josh Herman got trapped in there? They had to send a helicopter in.
Yeah. I know. I've been
so
up
he was like, "Well, I don't know where everyone is. I have no cell reception. I guess
No spot tracker.
I'm just no." He was going to wait for help.
Oh.
He heard some bikes coming. Some dirt bikes came down the trail. You will not believe who was on that dirt bike.
Who was
Two-stroke
on that
man?
dirt bike?
Two-stroke man.
Who do you think would be the most qualified person to get an adventure bike out of a tight spot?
Is she a
besides
diminutive
Two-stroke man.
woman?
What 5'1" woman?
Jocelyn Snow.
Would you be so
Jocelyn
stoked?
Snow.
Yay.
My God.
Jocelyn
rescue.
Snow
The motorcycle
is out
god
riding
smiled.
with friends and comes across this kid. She sends me a message like, "What's up? I just rescued a kid who says he knows you. He was wearing like street gear and was on an adventure bike and a trail. I would never take an adventure bike." And so she and her buddies helped him get out of there and pick up pieces along the way.
They actually
and got him back to the trail.
Pushed the bike out of the ravine and collected pieces as they went.
So Jocelyn Snow to the rescue. But isn't that amazing? Who would be the one person you would pray to show up?
That's
right
awesome.
now?
Well, he did pay the price up front by getting stuck down there and camping overnight. Prepare to overnight.
Wow.
That's why they call it adventure biking.
So I thought that was
Right.
funny.
That is
So
great.
shout
Good
out
ending.
to Skylar
Happy ending.
who got rescued
What a great
by the
story.
right person.
And,
Who easily could have still be there.
And shout out to Jocelyn for being the rescuer.
I know,
So,
right?
Good on
Yeah,
you, Jocelyn.
well done.
I know.
I wish I could have seen her face when, like, she must have been like, "What?"
I know. She's sending me an email. I was like, what the? And Charlie was talking about some of the trails they were doing. He's on his Tenere 1200, which is not much lighter than the
a lot of
Africa
bike.
Twin, that they had to lay them down on their side and drag them under trees and stuff.
Had to lay her down.
I'm like, no.
Turn around. Just turn
Thank
around.
you. Max, would you ever, if you got in a spot like that, Max, would you ever put any of your bikes down on the ground and drag them out? Or would that just be heartbreaking for you?
It would seriously depend. It would seriously depend on my supply of Pepsi and Pop-Tarts.
You're like, or nope, I guess I'm going to stay here and starve to death because I'm not laying the bike down.
Because there would come a point where, I gotta go.
Well, exactly.
There's not enough Pepsi here. I'm out of Pop-Tarts.
It's time to go.
I love you. It's been great, but I'm out of here.
Unfortunately for this crowd, laying the bike down and dragging it under fences is achieved far too quickly, usually. In fact, that is your method of choice now, isn't it, Jim? Just lay it on its side, drag it under the fence.
We go to it much more quickly than we used to. I'll tell you that. Well, if you take a fence apart at a federal reservoir, the feds kind of look unkindly at vandalizing that. So
yeah, if you pop the hinges out and actually sort of open it, you could end up in clink.
We tried the hinges, but they tack welded them, so we took the fabric off.
Bastards.
Yeah, they didn't tack weld that.
I'm on street bikes. I'm on street bikes. So if I'm dragging my bike under a fence, I got news for you. We got bigger problems. Something's really gone
Your bike's
sideways.
your bike's probably dragging you under a fence at that
there
point.
you go. There you go. Now that I can understand, that I can see happening, but not
Max,
the other way around.
Let's learn more about you. This is Max Sizemore joining us, and you are a bike builder. Right? We call it bike build. How many bikes have you built?
It's resto mod.
Resto mod.
Resto mod is the current trendy term for people like me.
All right. How many bikes have you resto modded?
Hashtag resto mod.
We've debated
hashtag.
this whole topic, by the way, resto mods and etc. Anyway,
I usually do a series of about 6. Sometimes it goes a little, and then so we're up in the 30s maybe.
Okay.
I mean grand total.
Ooh.
Okay, and if you go on in my website, the Max Sizemore Facebook group, and there's pictures that date back to 1980, 1981.
You're aging yourself, Max.
Yamaha RD 350, and if you look closely, you'll see it has DG heads, DG pipes. It has a custom seat on it.
Okay, so
the whole 9 yards.
So for people who don't know, what to you is the difference between being a bike builder and a resto modder?
Well, okay, when you start welding together the frames, when you're machining out your own engine, I kind of think, I think that's where you're a bike builder.
Okay.
A resto mod, I kind of take what the factory did, the factory bike, and I look at it, and sometimes it's what would have happened in the case of the Superbirds. Mm-hmm. What would happen if Honda hadn't just rolled over, showed its belly, and gone home when the Busa came out? What would have happened? Let's find out.
So would you say you take a stock bike and make it better?
Absolutely.
Okay. So that would be
100%.
resto mod, right?
Well, if I can jump in here, Max, because I've done a few of these as well, and the term resto mod kind of started in the car industry. God, it's been going on probably for about 30 years, and people were restoring these vintage cars. If you take like a 60s T-Bird, if you take a 61 or a 62 T-Bird, they're the most glorious things to look at. But, of course, it drives like a three-legged horse because the brakes are terrible, suspension's terrible.
Absolutely.
It hasn't got that much power. So the ideal is you build this car that's got all the elements, that it looks like the interior's that glorious interior. It's got a modern engine so it can keep up with itself. It's got good suspension, good wheels, good brakes. So it drives like a modern car. Now, if you extrapolate that to a bike... Obviously, and taking the Super Blackbird as an example, those things rolled off the line 23 years ago. They've got, back in the 90s, the Japanese knew how to make power. So it's not short of power. You can still improve it. You can improve any bike. But, God, there's so much more you can improve now with suspension technology, with brake technology. Even with tire technology has moved on so far in the last 20, 25 years. And you can get something that's got all these elements of this glorious 90s superbike to look at, and that feel, because they do feel different, but actually behaves like not only a modern bike, but a fast modern bike. So that's the essence of resto mod in my mind.
That's exactly what it is.
I think I've resto modded a bunch of bikes then.
I think you have rusto modded a bunch of bikes by not cleaning them, Liza.
Oh my gosh.
There was always
Airhawk doesn't count.
There was always two schools of thought. Okay, you had the people who followed like Colin Chapman, who said, "Why do we need to add horsepower when we can add lightness?"
Right.
Then there was Enzo Ferrari, who said, "Look, if you lost a race, you don't have a big enough engine." The really smart people are the ones who take both philosophies, bring them together into one, and it can be a car, a motorcycle, or anything. And that's, in all honesty, that's really what I try to do. I put them all on a big diet. I mean, we go hacksaw crazy. We get rid of anything that doesn't make it go faster or stop faster. That's usually the mantra in my garage. And then you got suspension, you got brakes. So nowadays it's relatively easy. We can upgrade all that stuff and bring it online with the modern bikes that are rolling out of the factory right now. And then when it comes to horsepower, well, you have people like Webcam out there, which will work with you on almost anything. Wasco pistons, JP, those people will cut pistons for you, whatever you decide.
Oh, if you got the money, they got the parts.
Well, money's always, believe me, money is always a problem. But here's my problem with it. Just once in my life, I wanted to build something. When we built Godzilla, I wanted to build something that's my art. That's what I do. That's what I love. I wanted to do it without that in the back of my head. I don't want to deal with money. I don't want to talk about money. I don't want money interfering with my decisions. And Godzilla was the one time I was able to do that.
So tell us about Godzilla. What did you start with?
Well, what I started with was a rumor.
Godzilla.
You know, kind of a street legend, kind of a street thing that was going around, and it was based off the original writings of Rob Muzzy.
Okay. Wait,
Muzzy had written that if anyone ever truly uncorked a ZX-12R, there would be no stopping the bike. And I was really fascinated with that when I read it. And I knew the story of a man named Eric who was friends with Muzzy and was building the ultimate motorcycle. What I didn't know at the time I went looking for the bike, and I went looking for it, I just wanted to see it. I wanted to see it. I wanted to see the build sheet. I wanted to see what he'd done.
What did you heard about it?
I'd heard the bike. I heard the bike was going to be the greatest thing on the face of the earth. That no one would ever be able to beat it. That it was just an unholy monster. What I didn't know until I started hunting for the bike and the man was that he was dead. He had passed away. Unfortunately, he was in the garage working on a Ducati of all things. Struck himself with a ball peen hammer. Went to bed.
What? Hit himself with a hammer?
Whoa, this took a turn. I'm paying attention now. What?
This the guy's building the best motorcycle ever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he went to bed just, probably angry. And, sadly, he developed a blood clot and passed away in the middle of the night.
Oh, my.
Word. Death by ball peen.
Ball peen. Oh.
And-
Wow.
Self-inflicted.
Called it
And
brain
inflicted ball
aneurysm.
peen
Well, who
hammer.
wouldn't want to
Wow,
hit
that's
themselves on the head while working on a Ducati?
And that was,
Wow,
I actually
yeah.
saw that Ducati, by the way. That's a whole nother story. But so he passed away. The bike, as it sat at that moment, was boxed and placed in the garage and forgotten about. That was the end of it. And I went looking for
A
it.
haunted bike.
I went looking for it everywhere, and just one little clue at a time tracked down the guy's brother. Him and I started talking over the phone. I desperately wanted to get a look at this bike, and I wanted to build my own version of it. And through a very long series of conversations, one day he finally called me and he said, "Hey, look, I've been talking with the family, and if you're willing to promise us, to give us your word that you will see the bike all the way through to conclusion, we're willing to sell it to you." And I said, "Deal."
Wow.
And I hadn't been up there.
Wow.
I had not seen it. I just knew the story behind it. I grabbed Chin, grabbed my truck. We burned it to the ground and got up there. They opened the garage for me, and I literally could not believe what I was looking at. Every single part I had ever heard about, read about, thought about, every single part was there. Rob Muzzy's clutch basket, the Bonneville box was sitting there, which is the computer box that kills everything, puts all the power to the engine, dumps off everything else, removes all the restrictions. That was there. Carbon fiber rims, magnesium rims, pure carbon fiber porcelain coated gas tank that weighed so little I could pick it up with my little finger. Wow. Everything was there, including the biggest build sheet you'd ever seen in all your life. It was a inch thick book. So there was a blueprint. The problem was everything was dated because this had happened way back. We grabbed everything. We started throwing it in the truck as fast as we could. We got out of there, went home, and laid it all out on the garage. And it was at that, that moment where you put your hands together and you go, okay, let's begin. And the step one was, I don't want to hear another word about money. I don't care. what happens? I don't want to hear about money. I'm going to do
the man with a good job.
I'm going to do everything. I'm going to do everything my way, and I don't care what it costs. And I hired. I got Rick from Arcal to build the engine. It has a 1272 in it. The crank's been recut. Wasco pistons, special cams from Webcam. Port and polished heads, the valves. Just he did an incredible job. Unbelievable motor. Most of the Muzzy parts that we needed were already there, plus a one-off exhaust system that Muzzy had built 2 of them, tested one, and gave the other one to this guy. And we put the whole bike together, and it was just It was the bike that got me started. It was the bike that kind of put me on the map. Before that, no one was paying any attention to anything I was building. Nobody cared. And I was cranking out Harleys. I was cranking out a lot of stuff, and nobody really cared. That bike, people cared. And I chose the Nardo Gray, or what I like to call Dodge Destroyer Gray.
Beer him? No, drink.
This okay.
Pepsi him.
I saw him pointing at something, and I wasn't sure. There's not like a head in there, or anything, like a hand or something.
He brought his own cooler. I like this
liver.
style, man.
No worries. Yeah, sorry.
And long story short, the bike not only did it live up to the street rumors of the bike, it did so much more. The bike went 210 miles an hour in the So Long straights. We ran it in several places. We had a lot of street fun with it. You can take that to mean whatever you want, but we had a blast with it. We ran it LA to Vegas.
I take that as you live souther from here, where there's a lot of big, wide open, flat places to ride.
Now we're talking. Yes.
Right.
It's not enough. People always say, well, my bike will do 180. My bike will do that. That's great. Yeah. And if you live there, if that's your thing and you're going to have a good time at that, God bless you, man. Rock and roll. For me, I need to be able to get to those top speeds and stay there.
Yeah.
Sustained high speed. That's what I want. That's where it all comes together for me. A crossing Armagosa. Have you been to the Armagosa crossing on your way to Vegas, the back way?
I don't know.
Crossing Armagosa at 200 miles an hour. There's no one there.
You're out in the desert where you can do this stuff.
I lost
it is
track.
So much fun.
But this was a ZX12 based engine, or was this one of the Super Blackbird base builds?
No. This was a Kawasaki ZX12R.
ZX12R based build.
Yes, that was the first. Yes, that was the very first one. That was the big one.
So and I'm looking at it now. Very, very nice looking bike. It's no wonder you were admiring the bronze cases on the Africa Twin, because there you are. You see.
I do. I like
lovely bronze casings.
I like the finish on that African Twin, on the finish on
gold
the
wheels.
engine.
I'm a sucker on it for gold wheels.
The finish on the engine.
Yeah.
She said it was painted.
Yeah.
That's not a bacon. That's not a bacon
It's
powder coating.
I don't know.
I
don't know what mine is.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is either. But I really, I was down there wiping on your bike. I was polishing, trying to polish some of
my bike anytime.
I was trying to polish some of your dirt off and stuff, and looking at the finish on that. I like it. I like it a lot. I wish I'll have to do some research, find out exactly what that is, because it was good.
Oh, I'm sure Honda will sell you the paint.
So you got this bike and you built it out. What were some of the things that you changed on it? What are some more additions that you did?
Yeah, because you basically you had the parts, and it was the vision of one man, but you said it was quite outdated by the time you got that. So the build sheet was already 5-6 years old, or maybe even older than that. So I'm sure you were able to improve on that by using modern calipers, modern rotors.
Yeah, it looks like
exactly.
big Galfer
and actually
floating
bring it
rotors.
up.
Yep.
Same front end though, same forks and all that. You didn't do a whole.
No. The entire front end had to be completely rebuilt, completely redesigned. I had to have custom triple tree made. Fortunately, we discussed this earlier. I live in a place with a heavy military base, so the aerospace industry is just.
You have jets to race.
I have. I've got some massive machine companies and stuff. So I went to an aerospace company and told them, look, here's the schematic. This is what I got to have. I got to fit this. And I'm holding up, a very expensive 10 grand worth of Olean suspension. I got to fit this into this, and this has got to fit on this, and it's got to be at this angle. And they were great. They treated me really good.
Let me tell you something that I like about your builds and your aesthetics. Is that so many people focus on making it go faster, but you're also working on brakes and suspension. It's everything. You can't, if you make it go faster, you need to make it turn and stop better too.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that you focus on everything, every detail.
Yeah, you have to go down the list.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
First, we have to attack the braking situation. Okay, because I'm almost always going to be 20 years behind. Okay. I'm not going to go get a brand new Kawasaki and start resto modding it. So I tend to go back about 20 years. That's where I want to be, about 20 years. So right away, right out of the gate, the brakes all have to come off and that all has to go in the trash. Okay, the suspension. I don't care when the bike was made. The suspension's got to go. Okay, it just has to. Some of them, depending on what it was, who made it, and when and why, the suspension can be an unholy disaster. The biggest problem with the Blackbird was the suspension was junk right out of the gate.
Emma, tell me I'm wrong. There was, I think, this period of these bikes that you love, they had advanced the power of the engine so much, but they had not yet advanced the handling and braking.
Well, no, it's a learning curve. It's a learning curve, Liza. And the one thing the Japanese bikes have always been good at, and you can go way back to the mid-'60s, they've always made horsepower. It's always very, very easy.
Especially Kawasaki.
Yes.
Kawasaki's are great at it. I mean, my history, I've got a long history with big air-cooled Suzukis. And again, you can get them to make big horsepower quite quickly. But handling and braking and fork technology, and we've talked many times about the suspension on this show.
And frames.
Yeah.
We'll talk about.
Yep.
And where else?
There you go.
That's right.
These bikes, when they're new, as much as we love them, and even a flagship like a Super Blackbird is built down to a price. Where are you going to cut corners? You certainly aren't going to cut corners on the engine. You can't cut corners on the brakes because you might kill somebody. You can't cut corners on the fit and finish because it's a Honda. You're going to cut corners on the suspension. So hence you get a very well-made bike that makes great power, that stops okay, but has garbage suspension.
Yeah.
Most bikes, even now in 2022, have garbage suspension because you can't cut costs anywhere else. And you'll buy a bike, and if you go for a complete flagship bike, which has got Öhlins, that doesn't necessarily mean you're getting high-spec Öhlins. Try it for a great example. If you buy, say, a Thruxton R, try and make a big deal. This has got Öhlins suspension, and it has. It is Öhlins suspension. It's made in Sweden. It's gold. It's got the Öhlins on it.
They show it off on those
But
bikes.
it is a dumbed-down specification. It's a very, very low specification Öhlins. It's made to Öhlins standard, but if you have a look at that suspension and then the Öhlins that you pay $5,000 for, it's very, very different.
Yeah.
So most bikes even now have garbage suspension.
Well, we noticed yesterday, just looking at the Kawasaki dirt bike. So what's the difference between this 250 and this 250? You know, one's more expensive, and the first thing you see is that suspension has a screw on the top, and that
There
other
you
one
go.
doesn't.
Yeah,
you know,
fully
so-
adjustable, all ready to go.
Before we go down this rabbit hole, so I'm very interested. So in these modifications, you're focusing on more power, but better brakes, bringing the brakes up to 2020 plus standards, the suspension to 2020 20 plus standards.
And that's not always easy to do.
Oh, I know.
You're going back 20 years.
Yeah, resto.
The best
Exactly.
the best people moved on.
Yeah.
Okay, if you call O'Leary's and say, "Hey, I need the best stuff you got for a Honda Super Blackbirds," O'Leary's going to hang up the phone.
Well, and what I find too on the older bikes is they feel heavy now. They're heavier than the bikes now.
We cut 80. We cut without getting crazy. Okay, on the Super Blackbird on the number 2 bike, not the turbocharged one. The number 2.
Let's clarify. So you bought the one, you rebuilt it, and then you had another project because you wanted to use the one as a model to build, but now you owned it, and we're still building a second one. Yeah.
One was bought for promotional purposes. Yeah. I had known about it's a famous bike. It's called Hank's Turbo.
Yes.
And I had read about it back in the day. A man named Hank, and I won't use his last name, but he lives in upstate New York, built this incredible Honda Super Blackbird with a Mitsubishi 2-stage turbo bolted in and absolutely nothing sticking out. Unless you know what you're looking at or what you're listening to, you would never know it until it was too late. And the bike was incredible. It was in Cycle World magazine. Yeah. It was in a bunch of magazines. It was on a bunch of websites. I knew all about the bike. I'd read about it 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, after the success of Godzilla, like a dummy, I just had to go looking again.
Man on the hunt.
I had always been fascinated by the Super Blackbird. I always thought this was a bike that got shortchanged by the factory. The factory stabbed this bike and the people that love it in the back because the Busa came out and Honda just went, we're taking our toys and we're going home. That's it. We don't want to play no more.
Yeah.
So I had a plan on building my very own Super Blackbird, modernizing one, making it better, doing my thing to one. But like a dummy, I just had to go looking for Hank. And I couldn't find Hank, to be honest with you. I mean, I don't know how old the guy is. I still don't know how old the guy is. But I think I figured he'd passed on or whatever. And I always wondered what the hell happened to the damn bike. I kept looking and kept looking and kept looking. And unbelievably, I found it. And by the time I found it, it was in Florida. And so I came up with this brilliant idea. I'll build 2 bikes at the same time. I'm going to buy this one. And while I'm doing this one, I'll do my own version. And in the long run, it's going to be cheaper. Okay?
No, I don't disagree with that.
It's going to be cheaper, faster, and easier. Okay, because you're just going to buy 4 sets of turn signals, 4 of this, 4 of that. Yeah. It's going to simplify my process. Now, this was a brilliant theory that turned out to be complete bullshit. Because on the back side of this, what it ended up costing, let's just say it got ugly. My wife, runs everything. She runs the finances of our little enterprises.
I call that the CFO at my house.
Yeah. Okay. So Chin has a tendency to do things on an abacus. And as a husband, as a builder, whatever you want to call it, I've learned that I don't know anything about it, but I've learned that when those beads all start to get into one direction, it's time to get up and go to the garage. And it's time to stay there for a little while. So, yeah, my brilliant idea turned out to be just complete BS because it cost me, it ended up
10 times the
Yeah, exactly. It was a fortune.
Oh, no.
So you're saying you finally heard about money?
Yeah, big time. I found the bike. I cut a deal with the guy. I called right away. I called Adam down at... Iconic Motorbikes auctions.
Oh, we know Adam.
Okay, I called Adam and said, "Hey," I said, "I need you to go to Florida and I need you to pick up this bike. I want you to go get it, pay the guy whatever he wants. Just take care of it for me, all right? I'll be down. I'll see you in a couple of weeks. We'll settle up cash wise." Adam said, if you know Adam, he A wonderful guy. He said, yeah, we'll take care of you. Don't worry. So he went and got that bike. 2 days later, literally 2 days later, I found a police officer in Wisconsin who had a Super Blackbird with like 3,000 miles on it. He never rode it, and he wanted to sell it. And I called him on the phone. He wanted I think he wanted $4,000. And I said, if you will verbally shake my hand right now over the phone, I'll give you $5,000. Pull it off. Don't sell it to anybody else. And somebody is on their way to your house right now to get that bike. And he said, yeah, all right. I called Adam back and said, hey, that guy in Florida, could you please have him kind of swing up to Wisconsin? Would that be too far out of the way? Adam actually, I got to give it to him, because at the time, I think he had only met me a few times. He knew a little bit about me, but he didn't really know me personally. And he really took care of me. They went and got the bikes. They handled the registration. They handled all the cash transfer. They handled every aspect of it. So all I had to do was go down there and pick it up. When I went down there to pick it up, I was horrified. Literally horrified.
Oh, no. Which one?
I am the owner of Hank's Turbo. I'm the man.
Oh, no.
And I got down there to look at it, and it was a disaster.
More parts taken off?
The brakes were shot. The suspension had collapsed. The turbo wasn't working properly. The engine wasn't working properly. The fuel system had long since gone south for the winter. The paint.
So it was ridden into the ground.
Yeah, it was. They didn't ride it. That was the thing. They parked it and they just let it rot.
Yeah,
Florida's
not a good place to have anything sit.
The thing had the bike had 8,000 miles on it total when I got it. Total lifetime miles. Oh, wow. I got it home. I called up my guys. I got my brother Jack. I told Jack, come on over. Let's have a talk about this. I looked at it and I said, you know what we're going to do? There comes a point when you just got to bite the bullet, and this is that point, man. I screwed up. We're going to dissect this thing. Mm-hmm. We're going to junk it. We're going to pull it apart. We're going to take the best parts out of it, and we're going to quickly move on to bird number 2, and I'm not looking back. Mm-hmm. I don't even want to think about it. A week went by, and we were getting ready to junk the bike, and I had removed the lower sections of the fairings to expose the turbo, expose the intercoolers, expose more stuff, and we were just going to go in there, and just really rip this thing apart. And I got it running good enough to take it for a little ride. Mm-hmm. And I only had 6 PSI. So I went down the boulevard, spooled the thing up, and all I'm going to say is by the time I got home, shit canning the bike was no longer an option.
Nice.
We were back in, I was slamming my hands together going, we're in full build mode, baby. Get on the internet. Let's find this guy named Hank. If he's dead, let's find where he's buried and let's dig him up, because I got a lot of questions. This is going down, man. And we
need answers.
Yeah, that's right. I got to have those answers. And we stripped the bike and just set out. I build bikes by, I don't know if you know this process. It's called storyboarding. Okay. Mm-hmm. There's a picture of Olean suspension. Mm-hmm. Okay. Picture of RCB, the brake systems, the brake systems. Mm-hmm. There's there could be a picture of a car that's a color I like. There could be tires, and that's how I do things, is by storyboarding it. Okay, and I get it all storyboarded out.
Almost like what do they call it when you make like your dream board or your wish board? Or
there you go.
Well, no, that's how they make films. They storyboard
storyboarding.
Films.
You're picturing it out, but you can do like a dream board, which gives you the
it's like
colors
a goal board, life goal board.
That's
same
I've never
process.
heard of builders using that. That
same
is really
process.
cool.
Yeah. I just cut them out of magazines. I
exactly.
downloaded off the internet.
There it is.
To keep me focused on where I'm going, how I'm going to get there, and everything. And then I just started rounding up the people.
It's inspiration.
I rounded up some of the guys in LA, that do special stuff. I rounded up a lot of shops and everything, and we just started going. And we L&L. Mm-hmm. L&L did the motor work for that thing, put it back together. Charlie Brown did the turbocharger, put the turbocharger back together. FX in Riverside did all the carbon.
It's all LA to us.
Oh, okay.
Well,
okay. Well, FX did all the carbon fiber work and stuff like that.
And I'm going to just jump in for a moment here for more of our listeners outside California or even outside the country. I cannot stress to you what an incredible resource Los Angeles is. Mm-hmm. And you could argue it's a hangover from the hot rod days, but compared with Northern California, you need to find machine shops, you need to find hot rod shops, you need to find people to do stuff for you. LA is unrivaled anywhere. You can get anything you want made in LA.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It's great for that. It's.
Oh yeah, alligator on the seat.
Simulated alligator.
Yeah, I like that look.
That's on both bikes, actually. If you turn back a couple of pages, you'll see the key ring. I dedicated the bike to Hank.
Hey, Hank's Turbo.
Did you find Hank?
Yes, I did. Actually, in a moment of panic, I did find Hank. And I thought, if I do this and Hank gets on the internet or gets on these forums and crucifies me, it's really going to hurt. And he should be consulted. He's the guy that dreamed the bike up. And when you see when I saw the work that he had done, the meticulous work that he had done, I was really impressed. And I'm not easy to impress.
Right.
And I was impressed. I did track him down. I did explain the situation to him. And I waited and I thought, man, any minute this guy's going to tell me where to stick it. And he was 100% on board with it. He was completely on board with it. He told me how he did this, where he did it, when he did it, why. A lot of times it was why. There were times when we were putting them back together and I said, no, let's not do that. Do it the way Hank had done it. I don't know why Hank did it that way, but I'm pretty sure there was a reason.
Yeah.
And that was all I needed.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yep.
Well,
so we put the whole entire bike, suspension, brakes, engine, turbocharger, what you see there in the photographs, the paint, the new seat.
I want to ask you about that because when I look at your bikes that you're sharing like on social media, they're all the same color of gray. What's with the color gray?
I think that's legit.
Yeah, so what's with the color gray?
Okay.
That's legit.
Let's see.
I'll tell you what I think.
Okay, I want to hear your. I want to hear. I want to hear your best guess why they are Dodge Destroyer gray. I want to hear your best guess.
My best guess is it is exactly the same reason that I have a little black dress. It's not fancy. It's very, very plain. The style doesn't need bright colors. If you painted a very, very normal color, the style and the build quality of the bike become the focus and not this crazy color.
All right, wait, I'm going to take a guess. And then, Bagel, I'll let you take a guess. So what was Jim, what was that TV show when we were kids about the pink Navy ship?
Tiger.
McHale's
Navy.
Tiger.
Was it? No, it wasn't McHale's Navy, was it?
The Tiger. It was called the Tiger, wasn't it?
Tiger,
they painted it pink because
painted
that
it
was
pink.
the paint color that was on sale.
Yeah, that's what they had.
That's what they had.
God, that's before my time.
Was gray on sale?
They mixed.
Wait.
They had half the paint for the submarine was
John,
red and half the paint
I remember
was
the
white.
show. I just can't remember that.
Don Rickles or somebody.
I just realized
Yeah,
why
yeah,
your
yes.
bike's grey, because you're friggin' Navy. It's
Well,
Navy
that is
plain.
true.
Hold on,
get it free
Bagel,
from the dump.
Bagel had a guess, Bagel.
I've got a guess. Go
Well,
ahead, Bagel.
I was going to guess that maybe you're colorblind and half the colors look gray to you anyway. So might as well just go with gray.
Ooh. All right, John, what's your guess?
That's legitimate. That's a legitimate guess.
My guess is stealth to match the road surface.
Camouflage.
Ooh.
Okay, so
Okay, hold on.
guess.
Operation Petticoat was
That's
the name
it.
of
Operation Petticoat.
there it is.
because it's stealth. Ooh.
Stealthy.
There's your winner right there. There's somebody.
All right.
There's somebody who.
So cars really don't see you. And
Well, everybody complains and says, oh, that's a bad thing. That's a bad thing. Well, okay, for you, maybe that's a bad thing.
Well, you're
Me,
outrunning the cops.
I like it when the lights go
You're
out.
doing 200 miles an hour.
When the lights go
Hard
out,
to outrun
the
a
bike-
Motorola.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
There you go.
the lights go out and that bike disappears. I love that color because of that. It also makes describing the bike in certain situations a little iffy. You know, it's hard to distinguish a few features. You know, so I have to admit, I have been in the gray series for a long time now.
So you do a series.
I always have. I
Okay.
do a red series, a blue series. I've done a black series.
And what are the other bikes in the gray series?
Yeah, because there's a
You
Z-Rex in there, isn't there, somewhere as well?
Yes, and it is not gray, by the way.
Oh,
And is this do you have the BMW?
I have a couple of I have BMW S1000 RR. I have the
we call those BMWs around here, darling.
that's very good.
So basically, you take a fast bike, you make it faster, and then you make it invisible. Okay, that makes sense.
We
Does that
say
make-
invisible
that makes
around
sense.
here, darling.
While you're looking for that, I wanted to take a second and do a little sub thing here. So, Max, you had mentioned earlier when you're talking about your bike, you also mentioned the Hayabusa when the Hayabusa came along, that Honda gave up on the Blackbird. I wanted to revisit that because for many of us that are of a certain age, I'm looking at you, John.
I see you looking at me.
Well, the grey
we-
hair brigade.
Yeah, we remember a time.
There was
when
a time.
there was a thing called the Speed Wars.
There was a time.
And
Absolutely.
I think a lot of the younger people may not even know about it. But Emma, I wanted to ask you if you could do a history hole on the Speed Wars.
I'm
that
going
is
to.
really related to this bike and its significance.
I'm going to grab my notes because I made a note.
I thought you were scratching your ass.
I am scratching my ass, but I actually made a
I'm not
note
sure we want to know where these notes are based on where she's reaching.
horsepower and top speed figures because it makes for very interesting reading. Hang on, I'll get my notes out in a minute. So there's money.
Oh, yeah, it's okay.
I'm going to put
Only
that
kind
right
of.
there.
We know who's buying dinner.
All right, she's now fishing through all of her pockets, which is hard in leather jackets. Oh, now we got a key. We got money. All right.
I might have lost my notes,
Did you
which
lose
means
your
I got to wing it, which wouldn't be the first time.
Not
So
wing it.
I was kind of involved in this in a peripheral way. So there's a lot of legend talked about the horsepower wars and who was involved and who wasn't involved. And when you actually hear the story, you will understand why Honda, and they don't see it as giving up, but you'll understand why what happened did happen. So,
what year are we talking?
well, we're going to start at the very beginning.
Ooh, okay.
And we're actually going to start in 1984. And 1984 was really when the motorbike world was changed completely. And it was the Gixxer 750 that changed it. And then the following year, the Gixxer 1100. I cannot tell you how much these bikes changed the landscape because they just, it completely changed everything. And you could argue that was the start of the rumblings. As the 80s rolled on, the bikes got quicker and they got a lot more powerful. One of the early players in the horsepower war was the Kawasaki GPZ 1000 RX.
I love
That's a great bike.
GPZs.
1986. That bike was 160 miles an hour out the door, which was amazing back then. But of course, it handled like a 1980s bike.
Yeah.
When we actually talk, I'm just going to talk about four bikes because I mean, I want to make sure that Max gets plenty of time. So I'm going to really talk about the four major players in the horsepower wars, what happened and why it happened.
Yeah, and this was basically, just sum it up, everyone was trying to top each other
Right.
for their speed. That's what
So
happened.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's
The
exactly
bike-
that's
Yeah.
exactly what happened.
the bike I'm going to start with is the FCR 1000. And the FCR 1000 came out in 88. It was good for, it's 145 horsepower, it's good for 163 miles an hour.
Bonus points if you can find any of the bikes she's talking about on the walls of the studio.
Oh, I bet you can. The next bike I'm going to talk about, we're going to switch over to Kawasaki, and we're going to talk about the ZX11. The ZX11 came out in 89. It was good for 173 miles an hour. Now, the reason why the ZX11 was important in this lineup, the FCR 1000 was a pure sport bike. It was basically a hot rod. The ZX11 was a sport tourer. It was big, it was roomy, it was super powerful, but aerodynamics played a huge part in what it did. So now we're going to come to the Blackbird.
Oh, yeah. I know there's some of those here, too.
And the Blackbird was
hey, there's one.
Honda's answer to the ZX11. It's 178 miles an hour, so it's 5 miles an hour faster than the Kawasaki. It may do with a tiny bit less power. Aerodynamics were huge. It was named after the SR-71 plane. No surprises there. It was a very, very interesting bike because not only did it make the transition from carburetted to fuel-injected bikes, it actually made that transition. Year 1 and 2 Blackbirds were carburetted, then they went to fuel injection. From a power standpoint, a lot of people actually preferred the carburetted ones. I think largely because carburetted bikes may be easier to tune. However, that was king of the heap until the Hayabusa came along. And Suzuki...
that was a big deal in the Hayabusa.
Well, now, and Suzuki being classic Suzuki, because they are instigators, they like to prod the nest. Do you know what a Hayabusa is?
It's over there on the wall.
Oh, you
But
found
do you know
Hayabusa?
what?
Good.
Do you know what actually?
Oh, yeah, right there.
A
It's a hawk.
Hayabusa
Is a bird.
is a hawk that preys on blackbirds. So
Yep.
it was
Yes.
very provocatively named. And
It eats them for lunch.
yes, it eats blackbirds for lunch. And they're poking away.
Oh, when that came out, I mean, that was, everyone was talking about 186 miles per hour out the door, right?
Yes.
I mean, that was insane.
And that was considered the full stop. But it wasn't as good as Hayabusas are, as good as Super Blackbirds are, as good as everything that has come after that is. The reason the Hayabusa kind of held the crown of like, this is the bike, was circumstances that didn't actually involve mechanical stuff. And so we get into this supposed conversation that went on between the Japanese government and the manufacturers saying, guys, you got to knock this off. It's bad for the industry. It's bad for Japan. It's bad for everyone. You've got to stop making these 200-mile-an-hour bikes. That actually didn't happen. And there's like, oh, yes, it did. It didn't. I promise you it didn't. There was never a meeting between the Japanese government and the bike manufacturers to say, you need to stop making bikes. Now, there was an agreement made with the Japanese Automotive Manufacturers Association. And they get involved in a lot of things. They get involved in cars. They get involved in bikes. If it moves, that association is involved. And it's spearheaded by a team of representatives of the industry, representatives of the government, representatives of law. And although the suggestion was made, what really ended it for these bikes was an agreement made between the Japanese manufacturers and the European manufacturers to arbitrarily state the top speed of their bikes to 186 miles an hour. And
people were dying.
Right. And from, I think, late season 2000 onwards, the fastest speed you will ever see a bike advertised of doing is 186 miles an hour. And that was an agreement made within the industry without actually any government interference. And a lot of people, over the years, this has become, kind of stuff of legend. Oh, yeah, there were clandestine meetings between the Japanese Prime Minister and Suzuki and Honda and all. None of that ever happened. It was actually within the industry. and they said, look, horsepower wars are great for individuals. For people like Max who are individual builders, it's a wonderful and good thing. But for us to actually advertise that our bikes can do over 200 miles an hour publicly, it's probably not the best thing. It's not good for Europe. It's not good for Japan. It's not good for anybody, especially as America's always been the biggest market. So all of these bikes are being exported. The domestic market for motorcycles, I mean, it changes, but America's always been the number one market. So it was an agreement made between manufacturers, and it just governed the top speed. It just so happens when that agreement was made, the Hayabusa was the top of the heap. Mm-hmm. So kind of by default, it stayed there.
Yeah.
Can you buy a quicker bike now? Hell yes, you can.
What is the top speed on your Gixxer?
I don't know. Faster than I'll ever go.
But I mean, there's
but look like a BMW
if you
S1000R.
If you want to
like
join the 200 mile an hour club, and that's quite a rare club, there are a handful of bikes that you can do it on.
Mm-hmm.
BMW 1000RR is one of them with small modifications. ZX14 is another one. Can easily do 200 miles an hour. Hayabusas, of course, very easy to attain 200 miles an hour. So
what about
it's
a
not
Concourse? Maybe not.
Concourse is a bit porky for that kind of behavior.
Yeah, but you know what?
Well, wait a minute. Which Concourse? Now, are you talking about the one?
The 14.
The battleship, the Battlestar Galactica, which is based on the ZX14, or are you talking
75 pounds of plastic?
Yeah, you're talking about the first gen, which is the cream of the crop in my book.
Well, and what's funny, all these bikes that were in the speed war, then kind of turned into like sport touring bikes, because they're such big bikes.
That's the point I wanted to make. Of those four bikes, which were the big players back then, the only out-and-out sport bike, which of course became the R1
it was the
after the Thundercat and whatever, was the FCR. The rest, the ZX11, the Super Blackbird. Nobody's going to say a Super Blackbird's a super sport bike. It's not.
Yeah.
The CBR 1000RR is the sport bike.
Right.
The Super Blackbird is the sport tourer. That's where the horsepower's at.
When I said I was going to build one of these as a race bike, people just went berserk online.
Well,
you can't do that. That's not what the bike was made for. Well, I don't care what it was made to do. I'm telling you what I'm going to do with it.
And to your credit, as you said, the Blackbird got trumped by the Hayabusa. But it is an exceptional vehicle.
But the thing is, had they not made that agreement, and believe me, when you're the stated top speed of your motorcycle, and even now to this day, they undersell horsepower. It's very, very hard to get outright horsepower figures for these bikes. And it all goes back to that agreement, which was late 2000 for the 2001 season, 186 miles an hour. So if you're all stating you've got the same top speed and you're really cagey about horsepower, where is the incentive to one-up everybody? So that's kind of where it stopped. And it was just because at that time, it was the Busa. Had it happened 2 years earlier, it would have been the Super Blackbird. Had it happened 2 years afterwards, it may have been another Honda.
We might have been at 200.
Yeah, but what did happen was Honda pulled the plug and went home.
Yeah.
And the part that gets me, the part that kind of sort of a little bit irritates me is if I'm on, I got my Facebook community and everything, and these people are in love with this bike.
Right.
Just in love with it, and they are the most loyal people you would ever meet. They adore these bikes. And Honda just ignored them. Just said, that's it. They pulled the plug. We're going home. We're not going to play anymore. The Super Blackbird was better made. I mean, I'm sorry, but its fit and finish is just unbelievable. And the other thing about that bike that really I could not believe, and I can't prove it. I can't prove it, but I swear the right and left weight distribution on the Super Blackbird has to be within a few ounces. It is one of the most perfectly balanced right to left bikes I've ever ridden in stock form. Because I did ride the silver one that we were talking about.
Right.
I did ride that one before I dissected it. And, it was, the fit and finish, weight distribution, the transmission is solid as a rock. That bike had the core elements that it needed to beat the Busa if they had stayed with it. And that engine is a twin counterbalanced motor. And that really, when you're doing what I'm doing, that really comes into play. And I'll tell you why. I've got that BMW you saw. Mm-hmm. I can go down the road on that bike at 180 miles an hour. I can go down that road at 160 miles an hour. And internally, it feels like the world is a microsecond from coming to an end. I mean, it is all excitement. Everything is exciting. There's vibration. There's noise, man. There is a lot going on. You are 110% focused on what's going on, man. And I mean, you don't even blink your eyes. On the Super Blackbird, you can go down the road at 150 miles an hour and I can have my Pepsi out of a cup and saucer, man. Mm-hmm. That thing is smooth as glass. I mean, it just...
I know, that's the hallmark of such a good bike.
Yes.
And the Blackbird, it's got a wonderful lineage. Because, you go back to the Hurricane of 87, and they developed the Hurricane all the way up to 94. The final Hurricanes had link brakes, which then made their debut. And then they just gave it a couple of year break to get their act together. And then you could argue that the Super Blackbird really should have been the Super Hurricane because it was just a development of that wonderful lineage. I have got this huge soft spot in my heart for Hurricanes. They are just amazing bikes. They're big, they're roomy, they're fast as fuck. They're just great bikes.
The last series was the last series of Hurricanes was really good looking too.
Yeah, the 93, 94.
But nothing's better than a GPZ 1100.
It had a very good
that bike.
Oh, the Batmobile?
It's
a bit cool, blimey.
Stop.
It's a bit cool, blimey, isn't it?
Emma?
Yes.
Do you know what time it is?
It's time for me to go potty.
No, it's game time.
Yes!
All right. Okay. But... sorry to everyone else. Only Max and Emma get to play this game.
Oh,
unless you have installed a turbo on a motorcycle.
Okay.
You're not qualified to play this game. Have you guys installed a turbo, Bagel?
I've only thought about it.
Well, no, that counts, Bagel.
So, this game is called Does It Turbo?
Oh, God. Now, I have history of turboing bikes that should never have been turboed and blowing them up. So
I was wondering.
Welcome to the Turbo Club.
And I was like, are there bikes that you can't turbo, right? So I did some internet searching. So I'm gonna mention a bike, and then Max and Emma, you're gonna tell me if you think it turbos.
Okay.
The first bike is a Suzuki GS 650. Which is like a cruiser-ish.
Yeah, of course it turbos. That's what an XN85 is.
And a what?
Suzuki did a factory turbo, which is the XN85. Oh. That is a GS650 with a turbo on it.
Yes, it did. Yes, they did, but that was a disaster.
Yeah, but it turboed.
Well, wait.
Or did it turbo?
It turboed for like about 5 minutes because the geniuses at Suzuki decided that somehow it would be a smart idea to stick the turbo behind the engine where the airbox had once been. So we're gonna pump scalding, screaming hot air into our motor. And by the way, the machine that's gonna do it, it's gonna sit right behind the scalding hot engine with air flowing over it. So yeah, it was.
Can you turbo a GS 650?
Yes, you could.
Okay,
not necessarily well.
Right.
I present to you. The answer is yes.
Oh, look at that.
This is
there we go.
Suzuki GS650 by builder Eddie Buffon. And he said,
That's rock steady Eddie to you.
he said, while contemplating my next build, I remembered that I had a Suzuki GS650 in storage. It was a bike I had tinkered with several years earlier, but lost interest in as other projects took priority. I aimed the dump pipe and exhaust upwards, said Eddie, because it looks menacing and impractical, and I had no other option. Now, when I squeeze myself into the riding position, I have an exhaust burning and deafening me on the left, induction noise on my right, and stuff poking my rib cage.
Nice.
That, my friends, is how you turbo a GS 650.
Yeah, that looks great.
But it's a good-looking bike.
I don't know that I'd want it to leave my living room, but it's
It's definitely, it's ornamental, isn't it?
Okay.
Yes, it is.
All right. How about the next one? Can you turbo a Harley flathead rigid chopper?
No, you can't.
God, I don't think there's sufficient. No, I don't think so either.
No way. How would you spin the turbo? What would you spin it with?
Builder Christian Newman.
Oh my God.
Tassels. Spin it with tassels.
Christian loves finding elegant and complex solutions to simple problems in his work. The valve seals and retainers are Mazda parts, and the tappet adjusting screws are from an Acura RSX. Naturally, the intake system's pretty complex too, with 4 intake runners between the 2 heads. It's set up that each 36mm smart carb feeds 1 front and 1 rear intake valve. Then there are the dual Garnet GT 1241 turbos,
God.
which use handmade stainless steel manifolds, downpipes, and charge pipes.
Well, the mine's obviously a lunatic. And my argument to that is that engine's got very little in common with a flathead anymore.
Yeah,
It's-
there you go.
That is true. It's panhead. There's a bunch of different engines.
Panhead.
You said flathead.
It started with a
Mazda.
flathead that he then.
Because a flathead, you couldn't
It's got
have
flathead.
a panhead.
Well, it's
you
got
can.
flathead cases. He
Yes,
started with a flathead
yes, yes,
and
yes.
modified it from there.
Yes.
This is the answer to a question no one was asking.
Exactly. All right.
But this guy has some mad skills.
Now we're going to go modern.
Oh, good.
Oh, okay.
Can you turbo a Royal Enfield Himalayan?
Okay.
Which is a
Why would you want
411cc.
Are they?
Yeah, they're 411s.
We'll make a noise.
My problem would be, man, we're going to need a really, really small turbo.
Right, because the way a turbo works is from exhaust pulses. And if you only have one cylinder that's going
Yeah.
puff, puff,
Yeah.
puff, you need to get that thing spinning. So you need a tiny turbo.
The inlet would have to be really. I think you could do it.
I'd have a go.
I just think the. Man, yeah, you're going to need a really small turbo. You're going to need to build some pressure.
Yes, let's say yes, Max, because you don't even need a wastegate on it. You don't need a blow-off valve. You just need a tiny turbo and run it about 10,000 RPM.
My concern would be the exhaust pulse.
Well,
as would mine, because doof, doof, doof.
may I present to you
I think we're being sandbagged.
this wily Royal Enfield Himalayan,
Oh, it's got 2 of them.
dubbed the MJR Roach, is what happens when you combine a pile of leftover parts with a vivid imagination over a series of caffeine-fueled late nights. It was built at Royal Enfield's Technical Centre in the UK by the Royal Enfield Custom Crew. It features a stretched swing arm, a manga-inspired livery. I don't know what that is. What is a livery, Emma?
It's a paint job dog.
Like a boot?
Okay.
Oh.
And a turbocharger. Why add a turbocharger to a single-cylinder scrambler? According to the custom crew, because when the zombies are after you, a bit of boost goes a long way.
I tell you what is missing from every single one of these builds, Max. She's not telling us how well they run.
Yeah. I'm looking at some of these in my.
Oh my god!
If I'm gonna leave the house on one of these, I guarantee you I'm gonna have my Vans on. Okay.
Okay.
Just not
Yes.
not saying anything bad about the people that build these. I mean, there's some
No, I mean
incredible.
it's scratching a different itch, but
There's some incredible talent there, but I'm going to be riding in my walking shoes. That's all.
All
I'm
right,
gonna say.
we got one more.
And the livery starts out as bold new graphics is what liveries eventually become.
okay.
Is bold new graphics.
All right, one more.
That's the definition of it.
Yeah,
Bold.
All right, I got one more.
yes,
it's the
Just
origin
here,
of
let's
bold new
pass those
graphics.
to John. He hasn't seen them yet.
Graphics
Here's
is a
the
paint
last
job. That's
one
labels.
in the-
Yeah, but
mean-
livery is the origin of the bold new graphics that's
Do you
come
mean
out
Texas?
later generations.
Hand those to Texas.
All right, the last one is a 1960s Honda S65, which I printed out a picture because I've never even heard of this bike.
Yeah, it's
Yep,
a little
that's-
sports bike. It's a little flat single, like a Cub engine.
This is
Yeah.
what it looks like.
That's
The
Sports Cub, right?
Well,
S655.
Yeah, that's the Sports Cub.
Okay, that's from the Cub family.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
yeah, I think you
So,
could do that with a small
can you
enough turbo.
turbo this?
Yeah, with
That'd be a tiny turbo.
I have seen there's a gang of youths who ride around Monterey on Groms and Monkeys, and some of the original Monkeys going back to the early 70s, and a couple of them have got turbos on them. So
All
I
right.
would say yes.
Max, can you turbo it?
Oh well,
Yeah.
man. You know what? I'm
It's a
gonna-
Tiny turbo.
65cc single.
Tiny turbo.
if you can dream it, it can be done. So,
There you go.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna have to say somebody's probably done
Well, builder Tim Klosterman agrees with you.
Oh, Timmy.
And you guys, this one is
Oh,
from
God, that is adorable.
Northern California. So, on his first visit to the Bonneville Salt Flats in 2013, Tim
Holy cow,
couldn't
yeah.
believe the variety of motorcycles he saw and decided to build a race bike of his own, despite never having raced or built a bike before. So, he happened to have a turbo for a diesel tractor kicking around, and over the next few months, he figured out how to install the small displacement turbo, replace its cartridges, fabricate a functional exhaust, fabricate carb adapters, fix oil flow problems, rejet, retime, disassemble, and reassemble again and again. Through much patience and determination, Tim finally had Lil Sucker, as he calls it, ready for the salt. Posting an average speed of 62 miles per hour, he set a
Wow.
new speed record, and Tim's first ever build was a clear success.
That's
Wait, was this
That's
one that was at
impressive.
the one show last year?
It might
I think
have
it
been.
may have been.
Yeah, I think I remember that
So
bike.
is this up to a total horsepower of what, 10, 12?
Yeah, probably. But here's an interesting thing. So Max is turboing Super Blackbirds, very complex bike in its own way. I'm turboing Wings, again, super complex bike in its own way. If you get your calculations wrong and you blow a cylinder head off, or you have to shave down the compression ratio, it's a pain in the ass. With this, you could change the compression ratio or shave down the piston in an hour. So there's a lot to be said for doing such a simple little bike and figuring out, how things work, volumetric efficiency and, heat dissipation, all the things you need to figure out.
Everybody's got to start somewhere.
Yeah, and I'm looking at this and I'm seeing a lot of things that he's done absolutely right. I really like this pipe setup. I really like the wastegate setup. He's got his fuel flow. It's a draw-through system, which is scary as hell.
yeah. It's not a push through. It's a draw through.
Yeah, it's
And-
a draw,
and-
and they are scary because you've got
Right.
fuel right next to red-hot exhaust gases that frequently have flames, and they can set themselves on fire quite easily.
And that's the good day.
Yeah,
That's the good day. The bad day is when there's completely
nothing.
boom.
Yes.
Well, so here's the deal. When I decided to make this game, I'm like, surely there's bikes that I can look up that are ridiculous that have never been turboed. No. Everything I looked up. You want to find a turbo Grom? It's there. You want to find a turbo KLR? It's there.
There
There's turbo
was,
everything.
and as
There's-
far
I want to. There are nut jobs everywhere.
yes, there are.
You're not the only one, Max.
What about a turbo motorbike moped?
I've even found a turbo Vespa.
Yeah, theoretically,
Yes.
I mean, there's a turbo RZ350 doing the rounds as well, and it's a very, very interesting build because what he's done is he's mounted the turbos very, very far back on the stingers of the expansion boxes.
Ooh.
And I've seen this thing run, and it punches hard. It's
All right.
a really interesting build.
Wow.
Let's just play just a quick game. Well, we're going to work together as a team. Who can think of the first bike that there isn't a turbo version of? I'm thinking maybe like a dirt bike, so I'm going to type in Turbo DRZ 400. Do you think it exists?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. There's somebody posting their build. All right. Anyone want to guess? Well, let's find a bike that hasn't been turboed. Because I thought like a dirt bike.
Well, I would go with a dirt bike, a Honda XR 650.
Turbo Honda XR650. That sounds too easy.
Like, why would you? That's probably the bit. Like,
exactly.
Why? Well, with all of them, you
Yeah,
say that.
XR650 turbo. There's YouTube
Really?
videos.
Okay.
I'm willing to bet that no one has ever made a turbo Veloset.
Ooh, turbo Veloset.
Oh, I'm
Is that
sorry,
two L's?
Bagel.
Is that two L's?
I know they
Or one?
have.
That's one. And two T's. Yep. Turbo Veloset. Oh, Alan Milliard.
There you go. Sorry, Bagel.
Of course Alan Milliard would be doing that.
I am going to say nobody has ever turboed an MZ trophy.
MZ
that's a good
Trophy
Trophy.
turbo.
Let's see. Is that also a Veloset?
No, it's an MZ. It's a Moto Jopau.
MZ ES 250.
East German.
It's like the Zundap.
Is it Belgian?
Or whatever it is.
No, it's East
German.
German.
Oh,
It's
you're
got to
right.
be an MZ.
There you go.
Trophy.
So, Max, we present to you your next challenge.
MZ trophy.
You got to find
turbo.
one first.
I'll tell you what. How about a Urel?
Yeah, there you go.
Oh.
I think it might be a Ural.
Show me the mentally ill
That was
individual
Guaranteed
who
someone has
ran
done
out
it.
who ran out of meds and ended up bolting a turbocharger onto a Urel.
Actually,
Or
that
two
was
of
going to be
them.
my guess.
I want to meet that
the-
guy
That was
from
gonna
a
be my
distance.
guess.
Or a Dnieper.
I bet somebody's done a twin turbo Ural.
There's a whole discussion forums about turbo Urals, and a guy selling
my guess was gonna
supercharger
be-
systems for the Urals.
Okay.
My guess was going to be for the Wolf, though, which is their
Turbocharging
two-wheel
carburetor for the Ural 650.
There you go.
Kit on eBay.
Okay, supercharging and turbo, that's two different things, though.
I mean,
True.
ultimately they achieve the same goal, but yes, it's a very, very different thing. And interestingly enough, Max, that's why I turboed the wing, because there is a ton of supercharged wings out there, because being a flat engine, and of course having a belt-driven system to power the cams, extending that centre pulley forward and running it up to a blower is the easiest thing in the world, which is why I turboed mine, because nobody had done it. And when I actually built Turbo, I think it was the only one. I think a couple of people have done them since, but when I built Turbo, it was the only turbo wing.
Well,
Nice.
I do a lot of business overseas. I do a lot of business with the UK.
As you should, they're great engineers.
I have over the years doing what I do, I tend to find a lot of what I need there.
Yeah.
And I especially like companies that only do one thing. That's my favorite thing. If a company only does one thing, it has to do it really well, or it's not going to be in existence very long. In the UK, these companies seem to exist in the backyard in a shed, and it's just one guy cranking out the part I want. And it's great. I love it. I love the way that they do things over there. There is a company over there now called TTS. And they have come up with a Rotex. They're using a modified Rotex supercharger. And they have come up with the kit. They're having some real luck with this thing. And they are bolting it into the brand new 2022 Hayabusa to deliver 400
you need to improve it.
400 to 500 horsepower that can be used, and here's the key, on a daily basis.
Wow.
I thought of a bike you can't turbo.
Oh, yeah.
A Zero.
There you go. There's the winner right there.
Sure you can. You could put
No
a capacitor,
way in
put a
hell
capacitor
did you
on it.
try
Yeah,
that.
put a flux capacitor on it.
We
Yeah,
had
just
that
a-
same
just a regular
conversation
capacitor.
yesterday.
And that's and you know this new
1.21 gigawatts. That's what you're going to need to turbo that bad boy.
But you know, these new generation superchargers are amazing, because they're not the old kind of supercharger, the Vane type or the Roots type of supercharger. They were running at 1-to-1 or even like 3/4-to-1. Big old honking thing that you bolted on the top of the intake and sucked through it.
Right, the roots and screw feeders.
Right.
Right.
But big old hulking things,
Yes.
big as the engine.
Monsters.
These modern ones, they're tiny and they spin fast. They spin like turbos, but of course they're mechanically driven because that's what a supercharger is.
Well, if you
They're
start
wonderful.
pulling it apart, if you start taking these apart, it looks more like a turbocharger than it does what my definition of a blower looks like.
Because we come from a generation when, you'd see the kid down the street with the blower poking out the hood of his Corvette.
GMC 671
the 671 or the Weand blower,
There you go.
with the dual quad sticking out the top. And the thing was taller than the windshield.
Yep.
And that's what we think of blowers with the old tooth belt.
That's
whining away at the front because and they were great.
Mad Max.
Exactly, they look great, but from an efficiency standpoint, they're great on big displacement V8s, but the power you waste driving them is just appalling. Because you've got to drive the belt, you've got to drive the vanes, you've got to drive the gears that drive the vanes. It's
like 30%,
very
right?
inefficient.
So, Max, I would like to propose a challenge to you.
A challenge, as we say around here. A challenge.
Because I'm guessing, it sounds like you've finished up your project and you're in the market maybe for a new project.
Ooh.
So I want to throw out a challenge to you. Because, you're taking a fast bike and making it faster. But you know what's really scary? Oh, God. He's taking a slow bike and making it fast. Not just slow.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever ridden a Vespa scooter at 100 miles per hour? Because that is death-defying.
I have to admit, I have not.
So, hey, we already said you can turbo a Vespa. So I present to you.
We've seen that.
Look at what was behind Bagel that you may want to consider if you really want to really challenge yourself.
Bagel, you have been riding scooters now for how long?
It's now 31 years.
31 years.
Okay.
What is the fastest you think you could go on a scooter without dying?
I think we need to qualify the scooter with what size wheels.
Let's say 12-inch wheels. 12-inch wheels.
Right. 12 inch like the best modern Vespa.
Yes, modern Vespa. What is the fastest before it will dash you onto the tarmac and kill you?
Well, honestly, that's really going to be a function of the tires because the 12-inch tires are not rated for speeds above, I would say maybe 92 miles an hour.
Okay, so we're up to 92
in some cases,
already.
Maybe up to 100 because that's one of the things that I was looking into and I was thinking about possibly doing, Bonneville run is on a scooter. Is what scooter tires can do over 100 miles an hour, and there are really very few of them.
Now, what about the frame itself, Bagel? Because you think 100
Bagel,
is about as fast as you can go without being killed?
Bagel, what's your top speed? I've seen you go fast.
Yeah.
The fastest I have ever gone on a scooter, I would say, is probably about 80, 88, close to 90 miles an hour.
88 miles an hour.
That's fast.
Yeah. Did it?
But
Wait till this thing gets up to 88 miles per hour. You're going to see some serious shit.
Go back to
right.
1955.
And on a Vespa, you are feeling some serious shit.
So
You go back to Milan in 1950.
Okay, so I have a question. I have a question for Bagel.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've seen some pictures on the internet of your shop, and I can see the stuff that's standing behind you. So my big question is, are you a mod or are you a rocker?
I am neither. I am a mocker.
Oh, there you go.
You're a tosser.
I cannot deny.
I'm just saying, Max, there's something here. Bagel, see, I was just looking up, the fastest I can find is 160 miles per hour.
Was that guy standing on it, though? I mean, seriously, was that guy at Bonneville standing on it?
Well, no, they've built extra bodywork around it.
Oh, okay.
Well, okay, but if you really want to go fast on a scooter, honestly, the best scooter for that is going to be a Lambretta.
So, would you wear a scooter skirt when setting a speed record?
I don't think you'd want to wear a scooter skirt at those speeds. It would be torn to shreds.
But would you color coordinate your leathers to the bike?
You could.
Yes.
I won't help you go any faster, but
Well, you
it'll
know,
make you look good.
No, you've got to think about these things when you're riding a scooter.
So
Well, you have to be fashionable,
Chen rides those in Cambodia.
yeah.
And every single person that's on one of those is on a personal suicide mission.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen footage of?
Oh yeah.
And I'm sure Chen actually rides side saddle because a lot do out there, don't they?
I don't know.
No,
I've never gone to Cambodia. Chen goes by herself. She doesn't need me. And
I'm just saying, I took
I don't know.
my 250cc scooter on the freeway once and felt like I've never gotten that close to death before. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. It's sometimes making a slow bike go fast can be crazy.
Take a Bergman.
And I will actually attest to that. I was here when Liza came back from that high speed run, and she was just white.
So what happened to her hair?
were you feeling?
She was
the
feeling
bike
death.
was the bike unstable, or were you
It's
just
tiny wheels?
So it was all in your head.
Oh yeah. The bike did fine, but I'm just like, oh.
Yeah, she was
I didn't
close
like it.
close to death, Max.
Speaking of speed, do you guys mind if I share a couple movie reviews with you?
Oh, please.
Hey, I got to bounce.
You got to bounce? All right, see you, Jim.
Okay, nice
Ciao,
meeting
Jim.
you. Great builds. The bikes look cool. Oh, that's great.
I shall never forgive you for standing me up, Jim, and I just want to say that on the air.
If anybody's looking for a date, Emma is available next Saturday. For
If
some
anybody
body
wants to
fun.
take me to a burlesque show
Body.
in Santa
Body
Cruz,
burlesque.
body burlesque in Santa Cruz, you step up because
Halloween version.
I am not going unaccompanied.
Yes.
You said you got a BMW S1000RR, right?
No,
he got a
we
Gixxer.
just brought it up.
Oh, bummer.
He's
No.
got a Gixxer, man.
He's
Oh,
got-
that's good. That's fine. That's fine.
It'll do.
It'll do.
It'll do.
So I wanted to give. There's two movies I saw this week
Yes.
that were really good that I just want to share with everyone.
Okay.
And the first one isn't motorcycle related, see, Jim, but it is speed related, so it goes hand in hand. I don't know if anyone has seen on HBO. There's a brand new movie called The Fastest Woman on Earth. It's about Jessie Combs, who set the land speed record in a jet car, and then ultimately, sadly, died from it while setting it. And it was a really, really good documentary of her career, and then about the run that.
And
she
you know,
died.
Jessie Combs, she's a very interesting character. I mean, it's very, very easy to see these people and you just dismiss them. Oh, this is just a pretty celebrity and
No.
she's all talk and no action. She was the real deal.
Real deal, and they covered that, and it's a really well done documentary that is on HBO. So, Fastest Woman on Earth.
Yes.
And for those that don't think you know who she is because she was on the
Mythbusters.
and the mechanics show that
Top Gear?
where they would fabricate and install the
she's been on a
lift
bunch of
kits
TV,
and
yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the other
She was the
one-
blonde. Yeah.
Yes.
The other one, which strangely enough is similar, and I have to be careful how I say this. There's a movie called Chasing the Championship, and this is a motorcycle movie. And it is currently, you can watch it on Amazon. You can pay to watch it on Amazon, or it is also featured in the upcoming Rev Sisters Film Festival that you can register for, revsisters.com, or go to Amazon right now and watch. Chasing the Championship is about this rider named Chrissy Rouse in Britain in the BSB, the British Superbike,
Yes.
which is kind of like our AMA, right? Superbike,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Right.
And he's a part-time school teacher and somebody who was going after that career, trying to make it in racing, right, to get up to MotoGP. And he had a crash and an injury that was going to take him out right as COVID lockdown came, which gave him the time he needed to get healthy again and get a new sponsor and get back on a bike. So it covers his season in 2021, right? And then, which you can watch and see. So it's very well done to see somebody who's really like people who doesn't have the big money behind them,
Right.
and how much they have to sacrifice and decisions like, I'm not going to make that pass because I can't risk crashing because we can't afford another bike. Like those type of things come
Right.
into your mind when you're making your decisions on the racetrack. And the update. So I highly recommend watching Chasing the Championship. It's really well done. The update is sadly on October 6th, he did crash and die doing what he loves doing. That is not part of the film. The film happened to come out now.
After.
And then he died earlier this month.
Well, we should watch the
Wow.
film then as
Wow.
a memory
So
to him.
it's similar in the Jesse Combs, somebody going after what they love and doing what they love and ultimately dying doing what they love and having a documentary team working with them up to their death.
we should all be so lucky.
And what was the name of that one more time?
Chasing the Championship.
Chasing the Championship. And you said it's available on Amazon?
On Amazon, I think like $1.99 or something,
Okay.
or you go to revsisters.com. Next weekend, the festival opens and it's free the first weekend, so you can watch it for free.
There
So,
you
Max, darling, I'm sure you didn't get the opportunity to go into detail on your bikes as much as you wanted because
No,
we do
that's-
just have a
that's
2-hour
fine.
show. Well, what's important right now is how do our listeners get to see your bikes?
Yes.
Well, on Facebook, there is the Max Sizemore Facebook group.
And anybody can join that group?
Yes.
Great. So Max Size is that, and that's just Max Sizemore. So MaxSizemore.
Very good. Yes, it is.
Yes.
And then for the rest of it, for the story behind, and we didn't finish the story, and we probably
yeah.
we really can't because there's just not enough time. But the story behind Hank's Turbo, that complete story, both sides of the story, the
Yes.
story that predates me,
Yes.
and then me after the bike came into my possession.
Right.
Both those stories are on the internet. All you have to do is Google Hank's Turbo, and you will pull up a dozen stories about the bike. You can pull up Hank's Turbo 2.0, and that picks the bike up from
When you got it.
when I got it and began my work with it.
Because
So-
these are beautifully made bikes. They're done to a very, very high standard, which I approve of. There's a certain irreverence to them, which I know you approve of, Liza. And I want people to have the opportunity to really see what you're doing with these things.
Well-
because they really are. You're taking a period of time which... I mean, I love 90s bikes. I mean, I just think it's when Japan were at the absolute peak in terms of creativity, in terms of just giving the public the best product they had at the time. And for those of us who love these bikes, thank you for doing that. And thank you for just promoting this wonderful period of time in motorcycling.
I love bringing them forward.
But-
That's the thing I love.
People are going to be able to see Max's build. Tell us about Endless Quest.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah, Endless Quest. Okay. Well, it's a Johnny Gibbs production movie.
Okay.
It's they are just now finishing up
So
I
should
believe
we be
it's
calling
called
you Hollywood Max?
No. Believe me, if you're going to turn on the Oscars, waiting to see me, you are going to have a very, very long.
We can never know,
Long
darling.
wait.
But
You
what
know,
about your
you never
bike?
know.
Can we see your bike?
Well, now, did I read it or did somebody say it? I think I read it that you're going from a listing format. Next year you're moving to cameras.
No.
No,
That's
not
not
us.
going to happen?
No, not us. Never.
We're
too ugly.
no, that's not true.
We are way too ugly for that kind of nonsense.
So-
we are
We have
audio
faces
only,
for
darling.
podcasts.
Audio only.
Yeah.
So
Except Bagel. He's a very good-looking young man.
we will be coming by. We will be coming by this way next summer on our way to Oregon.
Great.
So,
but
we will probably have at least.
We're in Oregon.
but you didn't say Endless Quest is a movie.
Yes.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
Okay. So
It's a new biker movie. That's
it's a
being made.
motorcycle movie. It
Yeah.
does have the opening part of the movie is all Harley Davidsons.
Yeah.
The middle is the building of the ZX12R that the movie is based on or centered around, I should say.
Yeah.
And the end of the movie is a road race that takes place from Los Angeles to Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically about a guy going all out to get one last shot.
Oh, nice.
And that's what it's really about. They track down a bike that a man named Torquia allegedly built, but nobody ever saw it. They actually find the bike.
Sounds familiar.
Yes, doesn't it not sound like a familiar
Sounds like we've
story?
heard a story like this before.
Yes. So it's basically taken what Johnny Gibbs did was he took the story. He took 18 months of my life, and he turned it into
hunting for that.
That's
bike, and then
that's basically what he did. They're just now finished Old Man Jackson, which is a comedy. The problem with these little studios like this is it's one movie at a time.
Yeah, it's one at a time. There's always the budget constraints. There's always the manpower.
But the great thing about these is there's no dailies. The studio's not calling, harassing the talent, harassing the director, harassing the producers. Gibbs can go out and do what he wants the way he wants to do it, and he doesn't. And he's really well known for the endings to his movies. They're almost always not what you thought they were going to be. So I'm pretty excited about it. He's doing Mr. Blue next, and then The Endless Quest. I think they're casting it right now.
So we'll be seeing it in the future.
This could be an inclusion in the Rev Sisters Film Festival for late 2023.
There
How about that?
There you go.
I have a couple updates real quick.
Yes.
The Chickistan, I lead a group tours, women's tours in Pakistan. And then Stumpy John, who our John is filling in for, he led
not me.
A Stumpistan tour, the dude's trip to Pakistan. And we were in a little bit of a competition who had more injuries, and he was winning. But I do have an update.
Oh, really?
Since we've returned from the trip, one of the women did get an x-ray and had to have surgery to fix her broken wrist. And the other one had an x-ray and found 6 broken ribs.
So do you win just by volume of broken bones now? Because that's like 7.
I know, yeah. So,
but there was a lot of crashing on.
But our women were tougher because they didn't go to the hospital and they didn't complain.
We had discussed earlier that you knew you know Adam.
Oh, Adam.
Oh
yeah.
You
From
so
Iconic.
So you know
we've interviewed him.
You know he had a high side.
Oh no.
And it was not a little high side.
Oh no.
From what little I know, and I was not there. But yeah, I heard it was massive. I mean, he was soaring with the Eagles before he landed like
never good.
Sack of potatoes.
And he's pretty
banged up.
Yeah, he just got out of surgery. I think it was 2 days ago.
Oh, really? We should send him a get well card because we like Adam.
He's being plated and pinned and
poor guy.
It's not but he is back at work.
Oh, good.
I am thrilled to report that I do the Italian Alps adventure. In fact, that is Emma and Kat's Alpine adventure.
But you don't get to compete in our injuries contest.
And because there are 0 injuries to report. The only injury to report was my heart got broken because I had to come home. But we're going to repeat it all next year.
All right, I have some more updates.
Oh, God.
Our good friend Matt at Breaking Away Adventures.
That guy?
Yeah, that guy. He's got a cool adventure coming up. This is for adventure bikes, so I would not take any of your sport bikes down there, Max. But he's doing another Carrizo adventure, but now he's including the coast. So this trip is going to be Carrizo camping for 3 nights. It's going to start at the coast, going down through Big Sur in the mountains and wine country, and it's going to be really cool. And it's always fun going out with Matt.
Oh,
so
Matt's great.
You can go to breakingawaytrips.com if you're interested in joining him.
Very good.
His Carrizo adventure. Have you been to Carrizo? It's
Carrizo plain?
It's norther of you and souther of us.
And it's a plain?
Yeah, like Santa Barbara-ish.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. And then lastly, the 500th episode celebration.
Yeah, it's coming up, isn't it?
That's quite the milestone.
Phew, tell me about it. I know.
How many years?
10. We're in our 10th year.
10 years, 500 episodes.
At least,
Yeah. See, the thing
Wow.
is with Misfits, from day one, Liza has always made sure that this is a weekly product. Our listeners count on us. A lot of people say we're the best part of their Monday morning commute because they'll listen to us, through their iPod on their way to work. It's a weekly podcast. It comes out every week without fail.
Now, have you made every single episode? I mean, have you been
No.
in every single episode?
No, when I travel, they fill in for me. There's enough misfits throughout the years that somebody fills in.
Okay, so there's not one person that's been in every single solitary episode,
Nope.
start to finish.
Nope.
Nope.
So it's a rotating cast.
Yes, rotating cast of characters. But the tickets are free, but you have to reserve a ticket. Go to motorcyclesandmisfits.com, and there's a bar for the 500th event. Click it. So I haven't fully announced the time and the location because I haven't signed the contract, but I'm pretty sure that I got a movie theater downtown. That's no longer a movie theater, but the theater is still there. And we're going to be doing a interactive. I've been putting together video and music and sound clips.
There
and
is a
everything.
slight hiccup. They will not allow me to do a burlesque show.
No, we can still do that.
Oh, we can still
Yes,
do the
yes, yes,
burlesque.
I think
Oh,
so.
good.
So all you have to do, though, is reserve your ticket if you would like to come. We want you to come. So go to motorcyclesandmisfits.com
Hang
and
out
come
with
be a
us.
part of our 500th
We're great
celebration.
fun to hang out with.
And we're going to be recording live.
Yes.
Where are we at now?
490 something.
So what we're doing right now is
49X.
Yeah, 493, I think.
So what we're doing right now is
let's
going to
see.
be 494 or 495.
Stand by one.
Confirm that. 1 second. Stand by. Thank you.
Stand by for action.
This is 494. This episode.
This episode is 494, so you don't have a whole long.
Just I know.
You don't have a lot of time.
I know.
Beginning of
weeks.
December.
I know.
4 weeks.
First week of December.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've been working on it all year, but our venue backed out, so now I'm having to create a whole new show and a new venue. So we're putting it together, and it's coming out better than ever. So go to Motorcycles and Misfits, and we just have 2 emails to read, and one of them, go ahead and read that, Emma, because you aren't going to understand it, and I'll explain it.
This is from Michael Don, which is Michael Don Music. So I guess he's a musician. Hey Misfits, it's Mike D from SoCal. I really enjoy the extra short episodes that you've posted lately. I know what you've been doing, Liza Miller. Most recently being Emma's history hole on Royal Enfield. Gun parts manufacturers, who knew? Now, don't get me wrong, I look forward to the regular episodes, but these added episodes, and I refer to Emma's shorts, I got lots of pairs of shorts, are akin to taking a quick shot of good whiskey on a Wednesday in anticipation to knocking back a few on Friday nights. Oh, I like that, darling. Keep up the good work, and I look forward to one day dropping by the garage on one of these Sundays. And he's going to bring us a box of donuts.
Oh, yeah.
Nos vemos más tarde anticipados. See you later, Misfits. From Mike D.
Yeah, so I've been
Cool.
dropping some older episodes. So Emma
Right.
and I, for our Patreon page, we had done a bunch of little smaller episodes, history holes, on really interesting topics, and they were locked behind the paywall. You had to be a Patreon subscriber to get
And
to
clearly,
it.
Liza's
So I've
releasing
been
them.
just releasing them to the public because they were great little gems. Last week I released the Beatrice Schilling episode.
I
and
listened to that one.
yeah, and
Yeah,
this week
Tilly Schilling's orifice.
this week I released the Royal Enfield, so I'm going to kind of unlock some of these from everyone who enjoys.
Shall I tell you what I'd really like to do, Liza? Is
You can do it in 30 seconds.
more Misfits video episodes.
Okay.
I had so much fun doing those.
I
and I
know.
revisited some of them, and they're just lovely little things.
Yeah, we don't have a dedicated crew, and that was making it harder because I was having to pull together different crew who didn't know actually how to operate the cameras and stuff, which then was making it harder for me in editing and putting the audio.
know.
And we had like Bagel and Jim and people who are offering up their time. But people
You left us, Bagel.
didn't really.
I left, and Mike's got a family now.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
you know.
I want to do it too. I want to do more mini episodes. I want to do all these things. It's the time,
Right.
and for the videos that we were doing, we started doing a bunch of videos on our YouTube channel, and I bought better and better camera equipment, but we don't really have people who know how to use it.
We need a new camera maven.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
One more email real quick. Just listening to the podcast about the up-and-coming Chinese bikes last week. We were just talking
Yes.
about that. You completely missed the Goliath of Chinese bikes, CF Moto. That is true.
Yes.
They are majority owners in KTM, so Liza may be riding a handsome Asian. P.S. Fuck knock. I miss him. I ride a Vulcan Voyager and don't call it a road sofa. I prefer to call it a two-wheeled love seat. Oh,
Nicely done.
and my bride of 35 years, and I take it on motorcycle camping adventures. Love what you do and keep it up.
Oh, that's
Yeah, CF
lovely.
Moto. I want to try them out. I've been hearing really good things about them, and I want to try them out. So that's why I haven't talked about them, because I have not actually seen one in person yet.
Fair dues, then.
But maybe at AIM Expo we will.
I can tell you the CF Moto, they're pretty much taking over on the side-by-side scene as well.
Yeah.
When I travel around the country to see these multi-line motorcycle dealerships, they have the CF Moto side-by-sides just lined up, and just as many of those lined up outside as they do the Hondas or the Kawasaki's or anything else.
No,
So
tra-la-la.
just quick recap. Go to Facebook, Max Sizemore, right?
Yep.
And
There
to
you
his
go.
group. If
You're
you
going to get a
stuff.
few more friends coming up
it's a
right
group.
quick, Max.
Don't forget to watch Fastest Woman on Earth on HBO and Chasing the Championship on Amazon or Rev Sisters Film Festival. And don't forget to check out Breaking Away Adventures and Jocelyn is a Hero and motorcyclesandmisfits.com to come to our 500th episode taping.
Well, I think that's...
Did I get it all?
I think so.
I think so too. But what I didn't say is thank you, Max and Jen, for coming and joining us.
It was a pleasure.
Yeah, did you have a good time? It's
Absolutely. It's this is the first time, this social media stuff, like I said, I have nieces and nephews who step in and run most of that for me, because I can think of about 1,000 things I'd rather be doing.
Yeah.
well, we're
and
trying
so
to
I'm
make
not-
it painless for you.
Well, this is not bad. This is
It's a bunch of nut jobs who
if
like to
you-
sit around talking about motorcycles
when you
all
get-
day.
on the way into the studio, it's a little nerve wracking. You're thinking about what. But once you get down and like I told you, I listened to the first 10 and the last 10 of as many episodes as I could, and that kind of made me feel better about the whole thing. So yeah, it's it's great.
The way I see it, Max, we get all kinds of people in here, and we're very different
Well,
people
that's
as well.
the key. That's the key.
But we all share this same commonality. We all have this visceral love of motorcycles. And really, that's the most important thing of all.
Yeah. Well, and thanks.
If you like motorbikes, this is the place for you.
And thanks to John for coming and hanging out with us today.
That ain't John, that's Texas.
Texas. John, you got to hang
No,
out
I
in the
like just
garage
Texas.
and
Absolutely.
see how it works. Did you enjoy it?
Absolutely, I enjoyed it, and I appreciate you guys having me.
You actually got to meet Knock today.
Yes,
he still exists.
I got to meet a lot of people
Yeah.
today, a lot of misfits.
A lot of misfits. You still come around to the garage
Yeah.
and hang out. We had a good time. Yeah, Max, thank you for joining us. I really appreciate it.
I look forward to coming back, and we'll bring the big rig next time.
Yeah, please do. And,
And-
so we can actually see
And
these builds.
We'll unload a few of them, and there you
Nice.
go.
That was
yeah, I
fun.
like the sound of that.
I'll be
Some
happy
audio
to bring
clips.
Hank's Turbo's on the road right now. That's the bike
cool.
we're campaigning all over the place. So yeah, that's
All right.
definitely doable.
All right, so we're about to wrap it up. I'm going to start it, and you guys are going to follow along really easy. When I point to you, say your name. Chen, are you ready? When I point, say your name, okay? So, thanks, everyone. Let's get out of here. This is Liza.
This is Texas John.
Emma, darling!
Chan.
This is Max.
Bagel.
And we are out of here.
Cool.
Cool.
Cool.